Hello everyone, how are you all guys? I'm your educator Amit Ajmani and I welcome all my dear students to Sri Jendra Rank Zone classes. Now students, in the last class we have started up report writing. In that report writing we had studied about what exactly reports are and what are the various types of report. We studied mainly the three types of reports: the newspaper reports, the magazine reports and the formal official reports. We also discussed about very important points we need to keep in mind before and while writing the reports. We saw the formats of all the three types of reports, and this class we will be actually writing all those three types of reports. Clear? So let us start up the today's class. Before writing a report, we need to keep in mind various steps. Let us remind ourselves where we need to be cautious and what all are the things which are to be kept in mind while writing the reports. We already know, we have studied that all the reports need to be clear, concise and well structured. So it is quite obvious that a well-written report requires planning and initial preparation. You just cannot get a topic and blindly start writing about it. You need to plan because you want your report to be well structured. You need to make your preparations because you need to relate the conciseness and the clarity of the reports. So, the essential stages of successful report writing are described for your help. These are the various steps that we should do in order to write a report nicely. Let us try to understand all these steps one by one. Step number one is to understand the purpose of the report. It is very important that you understand the purpose and the requirements of your report. Why are you doing it? This is the most important question before doing anything. Why are you eating something? Because you are hungry. Why are you taking this class? Because you want to learn something. Why are you studying? Because you want a good career. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? You always have a reason for it. Without thinking illogically, without taking care of anything, you don't do anything. So, while writing the reports also, we need to first of all define the purpose of our report, and accordingly we will decide the requirements of our report. We need to keep in mind who the report is for and why it is being written. Who the report is for means, again, that most important point in writing anything is who is your target audience. Fine. And that is the main thing which is going to decide that okay, these people am I targeting. So why I am writing this report for them? What is my purpose? What I want to do with the report if these people will read the report? Clear? So this is the first important step because the whole report will be dependent on the purpose and the target audience. You need to be sure that you understand all the instructions or the requirements. Only then you will be able to plan accordingly. Clear? Now the next step is to gather and select information. First of all, we need to gather the information from various sources. And once we have actually taken all the information that we require, then we need to select which one is resourceful to us, which will be beneficial, which should be included, what are the essential things, and what are the non-essentials. So differentiating between them is actually what your selection needs to be. Now, when you are gathering the information, obviously it is time consuming and onerous task. So, you have to choose your appropriate sources from where you are trying to gather information, because you need to spend a lot of time. You need to read those sources, and then you need to select only the relevant information. Now, how you are going to select that relevant information? Because of the first step, you already know why you are writing this report. So according to that only, you will select which information will be relevant, which information will be fruitful for your target audience. And one thing you need to make sure that you should make it very much clear that the sources from where you are gathering information, they are authentic as well as reliable, because it is you who is writing this report. So whatever you are going to write, everybody is going to be having belief in you. It is your goodwill that is going to be making the readers to read the report. So if the report is not authentic, if the report is unreliable, if the report is fake, then definitely it is going to be very harmful for your image, for your prestige, for your goodwill. Clear? So we just cannot simply write anything that we read from anywhere. We can't and we must not do it. Clear? So now we have actually read from our resources, we have gathered the information, we have selected what all information do we require, what all information should we include in our report. After that, the next step comes. Step number 3 is, now with all the information and content you have got, organize them. Organize your content. Why? Because you have collected a great deal of information during your research period. From the various sources, you have taken so many information, you have selected the relevant information, you have sorted it out, you have selected the content which is relevant to your report. Now group together the points which are related. This is what organizing is. We need to group together the points which are related to each other. They can be put together under sections or chapters or headings or points or subpoints. Once we have made such groups, now we need to decide the sequence in which they have to be presented. And for that, you should choose an order that is logical and that is easy to follow. Clear? So this is the third step before writing a well written report. After this, now comes the fourth step. And what is that step? Analyze your material. Prior to writing your first draft for the report, Before you write a rough sketch of your report, analyze. Analyze the material that you have gathered critically. Look through carefully at the material. Have a keen observation and look at them, observe them, thinking about any kind of flaws or any kind of limitations in evidence gathered. Look for any kind of conflicting or contrasting data. Look out and observe carefully for the verifiable conclusions that can be drawn from it. You need to foresee, you need to imagine well in advance what kind of concepts your readers will be having after reading your report. And if you think anywhere that any of your point can be misinterpreted, you need to make provisions to remodel your sentences, because you do not want that your readers go against you regarding anything. They should not disagree with you. Clear? So you need to analyze your material very, very sharply. And once you have done it, now you can go ahead with the step 5 and write the report. Once your material has been organized into appropriate sections and headings, now you can write the first draft of your report. Right? Now there are certain people who write the summary and the contents page at the end when they know exactly what will be included. Now while you are writing the report, because of the data organized, you are writing it coherently, no doubt about it, but write clearly and write concisely so that it should be easily readable, it should be easily comprehensible by the readers. While writing your report, you need to avoid certain things. For example, try to avoid any kind of irrelevant explanation or irrelevant content. Try to avoid any lengthy content. Try to avoid any kind of confusing explanations. Try to avoid any kind of conflicting or contrasting content. Right? So these are the various things you need to make sure that you are observing. Fine. Now once you have written your report, it is always advisable to revise it. So you need to review and redraft your report if necessary. And as in the article writing, if you remember, I actually focused on the same point a lot, that whenever we have written any writing skill, any long composition, and after just completing or ending that composition, if we simultaneously on the spot revise it, there is a great possibility that we will not be able to take out our mistakes. So the best way is, before revising, take a small break. Before you are going to review your first draft, take a break. Why? Because if you come after a break, then you will have altogether a fresh mind. This break is essential because after this break, you will get an appropriate perspective on the draft, and then maybe you are able to find your errors better way. Now once you find your any kind of flaw or error, make sure that you rewrite or make sure that you reorganize certain sections after the review. Obviously, if you find that you yourself are not satisfied, after you find that you yourself feel that something here is missing or is wrong, or the order is incorrect, or it is the repetition of the fact I am doing, such kind of things, and try to assess your draft and do it without any bias. Assess the report that you have written and assess it from the perspective of a reader, not your own perspective, because everybody feels that he is right. So if you are going to consider through your own perspective, then in that case you will never find anything wrong with it. But try to put yourself in the reader's shoes. Then try to relate your report in terms of clarity. Is your report clear or not? Is it conveying all the details that the reader wants? Also relate the simplicity of the report. Are there any technical terms and terminologies which the reader may find difficult? And relate and review your report by way of relevance. As a reader, try to find out whether the report is relevant or not. Whenever you are searching anything on internet, if you have observed, after your search, if you scroll down, you will always found a question there. Most of the times, 99% the question you will find, was this article helpful? Yes, no. Why they are actually asking this question? Because it is to know whether this article was relevant to what you are searching or not. So this relevance plays a very, very vital role. And all these things, if you are reviewing, then always make sure that you have a perspective of the reader, not the writer. Only then you will be able to understand, right? Now, you have finally reviewed it. Wherever necessary, you have redrafted it. Now comes the presentation part. So once you are ready with your final draft, check the presentation of the report. Need to make sure of the following things. Number one, you need to ensure that the wording of each chapter or section or subheading is clear, accurate, and it is actually representing the content below. Second thing, you need to ensure proper sequencing in numbering of chapters or sections and appendices. Always verify that you have mentioned all your sources and references. Very, very importantly, check your report for errors, whether it is spelling errors or grammatical errors or capitalization errors, right? This you need to relate. Then you need to check out if you have made any error in presentation or expression. You need to rectify it. Why? Because these kinds of errors create a poor impression, and it may also make your report difficult to read or comprehend. So you need to work out on the presentation. These are the things we need to make sure before writing a report. These are the various steps we need to keep in mind while writing a report. Now we'll be discussing about a few sample reports, so that whatever we have learned till now, we should be able to relate. Are we able to implement our learning into actual practice? Fine. So these are a few sample reports which are given to assist you. to improve your understanding, to improve your perspective and the observation of the fact that what type of information is included and what is the kind of sequence that needs to be followed, how to start a report, how to end a report, what exactly is the format we are implementing. So initially we'll start with newspaper reports. The first sample is given to us and the report is about daughter of gardener tops board exam. So this is our first thing, that is the title or the heading. Daughter of gardener tops board exam. Now when we are talking about any newspaper report, this is the first thing that we need to make sure. It should not be, it cannot be without a title or a heading. The second thing is the byline. Who has written the report? So we'll be writing by with B capital, don't make it small, by whoever is the writer, Riya Sharma. After this, we need to leave a space and then we need to write these two things, place and date. So the place is Bhubaneswar, comma, we have written the date. We don't have to write the year because this is specified. It is coming in the newspaper, so year is specified. Then we will write and place this colon. And importantly, from the same line itself, we are going to write and start our report. It's not that you have written Bhubaneswar, comma, May 12th, and then from the next line you are starting. No. Place a colon. This colon is of great importance. Place a colon and start writing your report just directly after this colon in the same line itself only. Got it? Now our first paragraph is the introduction of the topic. The topic is daughter of gardener tops board exam. So we need to elaborate. Who is the daughter? Which board exam is we are talking about? Let us see. Suman Nayak. Who is Suman Nayak? The daughter of a municipal gardener. Om Nayak has topped the Odisha Board Senior Secondary Examination with 98.8% marks. This is our introduction and elaboration of the topic. Now the initial impression and the reaction is her success has been lauded by the staff members of her school. Which school? The Government Senior Secondary School, Malkaganj, the Odisha Education Board and the State Education Minister. Now we will change the paragraph because there is a change in thought. Because we are writing a report, let us see how to present it. When the news was conveyed to Suman by her classmates, she did not believe them. Quite importantly, please try to relate the use of the past tense. When the news was conveyed, she did not believe. See, the past tense is being conveyed. Second very important thing that we studied in the previous class, that this is a newspaper report and the newspaper reports should be preferably written in passive voice. Her success has been lauded when the news was conveyed. You see, these are all passive voices we are using. Let us see further. It was only when the school principal called her that the reality sunk in. Suman's father, Om Nayak, is overjoyed at the news. Now, why we are using present tense here? I hope you can relate the reason. He is still very happy about it. It's not a thing of the past that when the news broke he was overjoyed and now he is normal or he is sad or he is upset about anything. No, he is still feeling overjoyed. He said now because he has already given his comment, we have used past tense. Suman was always a bright student. I have made all efforts to provide her with the best education despite my meager means. Now, one quite important thing is we should avoid using the first and the second pronouns, but we have used I and my here. Why? Because of these inverted commas, which actually mean that these are the actual direct speech words spoken by him. These are his actual words. That is why they have been put in inverted commas, right? But the moment inverted commas are finished off or they are closed, we again come to the third person. He hopes that she will be able to continue her education in spite of his financial constraints. Fine. Next paragraph, once again change in thought. Suman attributes her success to her parent and teachers. She said that the school teachers had provided her with all possible help by giving her extra time and attention along with books and moral support. Her perseverance, dedication, and hard work are spoken highly of by her teachers. Again, change in thought now. When asked about her future plans, Suman said she wished to become a doctor. However, she was unsure if she could pursue her dream. Because of financial problems, she hopes that she will be able to secure a scholarship and get funding by the government. Clear? Now again change in thought. So we have changed the paragraph and this is the conclusion. The Times Group has started an initiative to help Suman fulfill her aspirations. Now the conclusion as well as the required part is because we are having a target audience and we are appealing to them. Anyone who wishes to contribute to Suman's education can send the amount by check to Suman Nayak Education Fund, The Times of India, MG Road, Bhubaneswar. So this is the newspaper report, a sample of it. So many things that you need to relate. Number one thing is how we have made use of the tenses. Secondly, the format, the heading, byline, space, then place and date, then colon, and starting of the body of the report. Third thing, we have actually done the paragraphing in a very beautiful way. Wherever we find a change in thought, we have actually changed the paragraph. Fourth thing that you need to relate with this salt sample is how the information has been represented. What is the sequence of the presentation of the ideas? Clear? In the first paragraph, it was the breaking of the news and the initial reaction of both Suman and his father and her father. Then Suman's views that she is thankful and who all contributed to her success. Then obviously the future plans and how people can help, how those plans, those dreams can be fulfilled. So this is the first type of report. It's a newspaper report. Clear? Let us take one more example of the newspaper report only. Now this is altogether different. Commercial Tax Department to train its officials and industry participants. TNN May 6, 2017. Now we have written the date here. We could have written by also. There are different formats which we are free to follow because all the newspapers they follow different formats for different types of reports. Then again a space and place only. We are not writing the date because date we have already mentioned on the top of the page. So only place here. Then again colon and we will start up the first paragraph right after the colon. Introduction part. Commercial Tax Department is going to train its officials and industry participants. Train what and why? So that is what we will elaborate with an aim to become well equipped with the new goods and services tax, that is the GST, and address concerns of dealers. The Commercial Tax Department stated to train its officials and industry participants from Friday. So, the Commercial Tax Department is going to train its officials about what and from when. These we have added and elaborated in our first paragraph. The department has selected 25 locations in the state covering 23 cities on different dates. Now change in thought, so change in paragraph. Let us see. Manoj Chaube, who is he? Deputy Commissioner, Commercial Tax Department, said, past tense, now inverted commas, so we'll be quoting his exact words here. What did he say? Our aim is to be fully prepared to handle GST from July. We started a training session from Friday that will most likely extend till the end of the month across Madhya Pradesh. So a bit of the detail of the training program and the need why this training program is being organized or conducted. Initially, the department will train all its officials and then conduct interactive training sessions for dealers. So this is the objective and details about the training program. Right now, this training program is about GST. So we need to elaborate a bit this GST part also. Let us see what we are going to write and how. GST to be implemented in the country from July 2017. Now what is the purpose of GST? It aims to provide a single window tax structure across the country, simplifying tax refunds and interstate transfer of goods, and ensure merchant compliances. According to the tax department, about 2200 of its officials across the state will be trained by experts. In Indore, two locations have been set by the department to conduct training sessions. Fine. So GST what it is and why this particular training session is being conducted. There are about 3 lakh dealers across the state. Now this figure you actually don't know. Fine. So you just need to relate and make sure that you remember that such type of way figures can be used. There are about word is the approximate value. 3 lakh dealers across the state registered with the commercial tax department, of which close to 50,000 are from Indore, tax expert said. Once again, inverted comma. This is as per the tax experts' direct comment. We plan to conduct corporate training as well under the session. Training session will bring clarity and technical know-how about dealing with tax returns and other things under GST, Chaube said. So this is exactly how this meeting or this kind of program will be beneficial or fruitful. Again, change in thought. Industry participants have raised serious concerns about various norms under GST, stating the lack of clarity and training will lead to difficulties in handling GST. This will prove especially true from small units that are not tech savvy and do not have access to internet. They said small industries are not computer literate and they will have to employ additional manpower to file returns every month. So because every coin has two faces, so is this GST. We have seen the advantages of GST and here it is the problem which will be caused to the people. What type of people will be affected in a negative sense and how and why, right? So this is our report. Got it? This is also a newspaper report meant for both type of readers. One, the general public, and the other ones who are coming under this category of GST filing, right? So these were the two types of newspapers report. I hope that you must have got a basic idea as to how we write a newspaper report. Also the format. Clear? Now we'll be discussing the magazine reports through some solved samples. Let us relate these samples. Now since it is a magazine report, we need to relate the format. The first thing we need to write is the heading. Then we are going to write the byline. Who is actually writing the report? Let us see the heading part. St. Agnes Public School celebrates Annual Day by Manoj Upadhyay. So Manoj Upadhyay is the writer of this report. Then we will leave a space, and very important thing to observe is that here, since it is a magazine report, we will not write place or date that we have been writing in the newspaper reports. Got it? Now the first paragraph, as always, will be the introduction. We are going to elaborate our heading and we are going to provide a few basic details regarding the WH question. What happened, where happened, when happened, and when we are talking about when, then in that case we need to specify the date as well as at times the time also. Why also comes in some cases as to why this event or this incident or this celebration occurred. So let us see WH questions being answered in the very first paragraph. Who? That is St. Agnes School, Green Park. What? They celebrated its annual day when? On May 2nd with great fanfare. Who had attended? Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, the Chief Minister of Delhi, was the chief guest at the function. So these are all the WH questions answered. Now comes the how part. How this event or celebration actually took place, how it started, what all it included, how it ended. That is what we'll be specifying. Let us see. The program began with the lighting of the lamp by the chief guest. It was followed by a welcome address and the presentation of the school annual report by the principal, Miss Swati Mehra. You see, everywhere we are using it was followed, right? Passive voice and began, followed, right? Was, all these things, celebrated, all these things in past tense. Tense and voice you need to relate. Clear? The order, the sequence needs to be remembered. First of all, obviously the program will begin with something, then what followed it, then what came after that. We are providing the information of the events as and when they happened in proper sequence. Clear? Let us come to the next paragraph. The further details of the program. The first item of the cultural program was presented by the primary wing. It was a musical drama on the necessity of protecting the environment for the future generations. Reaction on that? The little children expressed themselves brilliantly, bringing out the perils of destroying our planet. So this is altogether a different thought, one thought grouped together related to the first item, who presented, what was included, how was it, that's it. Next comes the second process, second event. The middle school showcased the culture of India through folk dances. Each dance was preceded by beautiful audio visual effects depicting the main cultural features of the region. The colorful dresses of the graceful Garba dancers, the vigor and energy of Bhangra dancers, and lilting music with elegant swaying movements of the Bihu and Hajgiri dancers from the northeast enthralled the audience. So these were all the dance performances, whether it was the Garba dance or the Bhangra dance or the Bihu and Hajgiri dance, right? All the dance performances, same idea, grouped together in one paragraph. So the primary wing, what they did, the middle school, what they did, after it, the sequence should be followed with the senior school pupils. And this is what a report and the chronological order is all about. Now talking about the senior wing, the senior school pupils enacted a play depicting the dangers of internet and social media addiction. for adults and children. They brought out the message poignantly. Every child and adult was moved by the acting and story of a young life ruined by social media addiction. The audience gave a loud and long round of applause for all participants. So the senior wing, they did this. Clear? Now after all the performance, now we come to the end of the program. How it ended, all included in the conclusive paragraph. The grand finale was the speech by Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. He highly praised the performances by the children and appreciated the thought provoking themes chosen by them. The program concluded with a vote of thanks by Sagar Mehta, the school head boy. So, this is how the program ended. So, you see what exactly is the way of writing a magazine celebration report? The format we have related, the heading. After that, we have related the byline, space. This is our first paragraph in which we elaborated the topic. The second paragraph and the third paragraph and the fourth paragraph. These were related to the performances, and we have grouped all the performances of one type in one paragraph. The junior wing, primary wing, then the middle school, and then the senior school pupils. The starting of the program came in the first paragraph. Second, third, and fourth, what all happened during the program, and finally, in the last paragraph, how the program ended. This is a good report giving you a basic idea as to what is the sequence that we need to take care while writing a good report. Fine. So this was the first magazine report. Let us try to have another example of again one another report. Now, this report is a newspaper report. How we can relate it? The place and date are given to us. Right? Let us see. Almost 900 H1N1 cases reported as per WHO. This is the newspaper headlines today. We have related the place Geneva, comma, we have related the date, the year need not to be specified, and there should have been a colon, and as per the theoretical part, we will start the report right after the colon itself only. That is the preferred way. This is also acceptable, but that is the preferred way. Now, the first paragraph actually elaborating our heading only. Through the World Health Organization's WHO, alert levels remains one short of a global pandemic. 18 countries have now reported laboratory confirmed cases. The number of suspected H1N1 flu cases across the globe has touched 898 with 20 confirmed deaths so far. Though the World Health Organization's, that is WHO, alert level remains one short of a global pandemic, 18 countries, I think this is repeated. So, this is some misprinting out here. So let us not go by it because this is what we have written in the above paragraph. Let us see further. Colombia became the first South American country to report a case. However, US health officials are cautiously optimistic that the flu isn't as dangerous as it was first feared. Mexico remains the worst affected with 506 cases and 19 deaths. However, the country's health secretary feels that the epidemic is now declining. But the WHO is not dropping the level 5 alert just yet. Source India Today. So this is particularly one of the reports regarding the WHO's alert about the increasing H1N1 flu virus cases. Right? Now these are our magazine and newspaper reports that we have been discussing till now. Let us try to come up with the more complex ones, that is the official reports. Now students, these official reports are further of various types. One of these are the financial reports, audit reports, right? Annual reports, various kind of reports which are pertaining to the organizations. Now because they are specific reports, so these cannot be written just generally. You read, you understand, but that is not sufficient for these type of reports. You need to make sure that you learn the way to represent, and maybe many places you need to learn the things as it is, the process which we call cramming, because there are certain things which have to be written the way they should be. Let us see how. Now the financial report. The financial reports are very long and complicated ones with complex data and figures. Now these financial reports means the reports which are depicting the finances of a company. Right? All the commerce students, they already know what exactly financial statement means. It means the profit and loss statement, the asset and liability statement, what the company has earned, how many expenses company have incurred, what exactly is the profit that has been after all the expenses, all the cost factors inclusive. So this is what the financial reports are, and because they are very technical, that is why they are very complicated. They have got complex data and figures, and they are usually very long. Just take an example. A sample is given to us. This is about Nuvo Pharmaceuticals, which is a TM, means trademark of a company. Nuvo Pharmaceutical Company, and this company announces 2017 first quarter results. This company is actually announcing its results for the first 3 months of this year. Normally, we do not write a heading in more than one line. But as per the book, just take a reference. Here what he has mentioned more in the heading itself, that this company reports Q1, that means quarter 1 revenue of, sales of, revenue is sales of dollar 7.0 million, and the net income of dollar 2.2 million. Even though the heading is very big, still, for reference, you have just read it. I do not advise my students to write such a big heading. It simply should be first quarterly results of Nuvo Pharmaceuticals. That's it. Rest of all the details, how much is the revenue, how much is the net income, what is the profit, this all we can obviously include in the details below. Why to focus on just the heading being 2 lines? or rather if you are writing it with pen, it will be more than 2 lines, approximately 3 lines. Heading should not be that much big, that much long. Now this is a newspaper report because Nuvo Pharmaceutical is a company and it is giving out its results which are published in the newspaper, probably for general public just to say, but we all have already discussed that these are specific type of information that a normal person who has not invested or who is not actually planning to invest in new pharmaceutical, he doesn't even want to know about what this company is, what it does, and what is the pricing, how he can be benefited. He is not going to think unless until he shows his interest in this particular company. Then of course he will be quite obviously interested about company's performance. He will be very much involved and interested in knowing the sales figures and in knowing the net income or the profits of the company, because he has already invested money or because he is planning to invest money. Got it? Now let us start with the actual report, how to represent it. First of all, we have written this place, Mississauga, ON, May 10, 2017 slash CNW slash. Now this is an official report, not newspaper report just because place and date are mentioned. No, it's a financial report. It may be for both the purposes. It may be published in the newspaper also or for the company's self personal distribution. Now the first paragraph, we always know that we are going to elaborate and we are going to explain what our heading meant. Let us see how to start up. Nuvo Pharmaceuticals Incorporation. It's Nuvo or the company, a commercial healthcare company, because it is a pharmaceutical company, has to be a healthcare making pharma products, medicines, etc. etc. With a portfolio of commercial products and pharmaceutical manufacturing capabilities, today announced its financial and operational results for the first quarter ended 31st March 2017. So this is 31st March 2017 because it is the first quarter. Company's name, these two things are mainly focused in the heading. This is what we are going to write in our first paragraph. Now the rest of the facts, figures, comparison, all these things we will do in different paragraph. Now these paragraphs that we are making, since it is a different kind of report, it is a financial report, so we will give a heading first. First quarter financial summary, and from the next line we will explain the details whatever are given to us in the question, or probably in the form of a table or a graph or a pie chart or a histogram, anything. So from that we will read the information and we will manipulate. How? Let us see. Total revenue for the 3 months ended 31st March 2017 was $7.0 million compared to $7.8 million for the first 3 months ended previous year 31st March 2016. Adjusted EBITDA. Now, commerce students must be aware with these technical terms, right? So, EBITDA is decreased to $2.3 million for the 3 months ended 31st March 2017 compared to 3.0 million for the 3 months ended 31st March 2016. So we are giving the current year's values, then we are comparing these things with the previous year values, and we are actually telling the difference between the two. Got it? Net income from continuing operations was $2.2 million for the first 3 months ended 31st March 2017, or $0.19 per share, compared to $1.9 million or $0.17 per share for the 3 months ended 31st March 2016. Cash and short-term investments increased to $18.6 million as at March 31st, 2017, compared to $17.6 million as at December 31st, 2016. So this is the actual quarter financial summary. Now, what information do we gather from this summary? This is what we are specifying. The financial information presented herein reflects results from continuing operations with Nuvo Pharmaceuticals previously disclosed segment. Cresita presented as a discontinued operation. Adjusted EBITDA is a non-international financial reporting standards, which is IFRS. It is a financial measure defined by the company law. Now, for these first quarter financial reviews, there is a table of selected financial results, and the company is saying that for further details on the results, please refer to Nuvo's management discussion and analysis and condensed consolidated interim financial statements, which are available on the company's website. And this is the website www.nuvopharmaceuticals.com. Now, all this information that we have gathered, this is basically based on a particular table. This is the kind of table that will be provided to us, or the information will be given to us, which we can convert in the form of this table. Simple, we are just providing the financial reports for the 3 months ending 31st March 2017 and 31st March 2016. This is our current year. This is our previous year. We always make comparisons between all the things related to the current year and previous year in order to see what is the change, what is the difference between the 2 years, right? The table and the values is specifying that this is from continuing operations. The values are given in Canadian dollars in thousands except gross margin. The product sales in these 3 months for current year are 6653, and for the previous year were 7325. So we can see that as compared to the previous year, the product sales have decreased. How much? We will take the difference. It comes out to be 672, and it is in minus because it is decreasing. So in financial reports, this minus is represented by brackets. This bracket means minus, right? Next, gross margin percentage on product sales. In the previous year, it was 57%. This year, it is 58%. So it has increased 1%. Clear? In positive. Other revenue. Last year, it was 517. Of course, these figures are in thousands and Canadian dollars. This year it is 329,000. So it has actually decreased. So it will be, the change is minus 188. Minus again showing there is a decrease. When we are talking about total operating expenses of the company, previous year it were 5378. This year these are 4716. So they have also decreased, in brackets 662. Net income last year was 1928. This year is 2196. The difference is 268 in a positive, because this year the net income has increased. Adjusted EBITDA last year was 2989. This year it is 2298. It is decreasing. So if we are taking the difference, it is 691, and because it is decreasing, it will be in minus. So the change, how we calculate the change? The present year value minus the current year, the current year value or present year value minus the previous year value. This will tell us the change, and this is a kind of financial tabular report. Now this table in itself is self-sufficient and self-explainable as to how the companies, all these things are performing this year and previous year. So what is our financial position? What is the difference between our previous and current year? If the values are increasing, all positive. If the values are decreasing, all negative in brackets. Then we will tend to analyze this information in order to understand what exactly this information actually means. Is it in our favor, saying something positive about us? For example, if our expenses are decreasing as compared to the previous year, that means we have less money spent on expenses. That is good for us. It's a positive thing, right? That our expenses have decreased. But if our productivity has decreased, if our income has decreased, if our net profit has decreased, so all these things, if they are decreasing, they are negative for the company. Similarly, if something is increasing, some things are positive, but if the other things are increasing, increase doesn't mean good or bad, beneficial or non-beneficial. It is, we need to relate the increase or decrease of what. If our income is increased, our sales are increased, our revenues are increased, that is good for the company. But similarly, if our expenses are increasing, if our bank loans, our debts, our liabilities are increasing, that is a negative situation and position for the company. Got it? So this is how we represent the financial reports and explaining all these in all the values and figures. Continuing up with the values, total revenue consisting of product sales, royalties and contract and other revenue for the 3 months ended 31st March 2017 was $7.0 million compared to $7.8 million for the 3 months ended 31st March 2016. Actually, there must have been a table which would have accompanied this question, and on the basis of that only we are putting out all these values. These are not that something is given to us, write the financial report, and all these things we have got to learn and we have to write from your own side. Total revenue consisting of product sales, royalties, contract and other revenue, these all are given in the question, just the way the above table was given, and we are just elaborating that table. We are explaining that table we are actually not doing anything else from our own side. Clear? So now this total revenue is decreasing. So the decrease in total revenue was primarily related to a decrease in product sales. Next line in the table would have been total operating expenses. The values would have been given. We are expanding that particular point only, that the total operating expenses for the 3 months ended 31st March 2017 decreased to 4.7 million compared to $5.4 million for the 3 months of the previous year ending 31st March 2016. Why it is decreased? Possibly bracket in brackets the reason is given. The decrease in operating expenses was primarily attributable to a decreased cost of goods sold, which is represented as an acronym COGS, and general and administrative G&A expenses, slightly offset by an increase in research and development expenses. So this is how we have conveyed the information of the table. Now some R&D expenses data is given, that we have to relate, that R&D expenses increased slightly to $0.3 million for the 3 months ended 31st March 2017 compared to the figure $0.2 million for the 3 months ended 31st March 2016. In the current quarter, the company incurred R&D expenses related to 2016 PenSed 2% trial for the treatment of acute ankle sprains. I think there is something wrong. This sentence is wrong. It is not making any sense. So let us strike it off. Next, G&A expenses decreased to $1.7 million for the 3 months ended 31st March 2017 compared to $2.1 million for the 3 months ended 31st March 2016. In the current quarter, that is ending 31st March 2017, as per the question, 2017 is the current year. So in the current quarter, a $1.0 million decrease in stock based compensation, which is called SBC, that expense was partially offset by an increase in regulatory consulting fees and an increase in general corporate costs due to allocation of certain corporate G&A costs to Crescita in the comparative quarter. So is this what exactly is Crescita, G&A, R&D, total operating cost? These all are given to us in the form of a table. In the question, we are just stretching them out, explaining them properly, fine, elaborating them. Then next point would have been the company's income. The company earned net interest income of $38,000 for the 3 months ended 31st March 2017 compared to the $56,000 for the 3 months ending 31st March 2016. You see how simple it is actually. You are given a table, you are just explaining the table. Left hand side, this is the basis, then current year value, previous year value, change in the value. So from the left hand side, we are taking up R&D, G&A, operating expenses, that's it. And ahead of it, we are given certain values related to previous year, current year. Firstly, we are specifying the current year value. Then we are comparing and contrasting it with the previous year value, again giving that value also, and then justifying with your comment that based on these values as per the table, what exactly is increasing with how much, and which exactly is the thing that is decreasing and how much. Clear? So the decrease in net interest income in the current quarter related to the significantly lower cash balances as compared to the comparative period, whereby $35 million was transferred to Cressida on 1st March 2016 as part of the reorganization transaction. Then another point in the table that we are elaborating, the company experienced a net foreign currency loss of $0.1 million for the 3 months ended 31st March 2017 compared to a net foreign currency loss of $0.5 million for the 3 months ended 31st March 2016. Net income from continuing operations was $2.2 million for the last 3 months ended 31st March 2017 compared to $1.9 million for the 3 months ended 31st March 2016. In the current quarter, the decrease in gross margin and a slight increase in R&D expenses were more than offset by a decrease in G&A expenses and a decrease in foreign exchange losses. Next entry in the table that we have to elaborate is adjusted EBITDA decreased to $2.3 million for the first 3 months ended March 31st, 2017 compared to $3.0 million for the 3 months ended 31st March 2016. In the current quarter, an increase in net income from continuing operations was more than offset by a decrease in SBC expenses. The source of this article report detail is medical pharmaceuticals. Now, two things. Number one, very lengthy. Number two, very difficult. These are the first two expressions and thoughts of the children when they do these kind of reports for the first time. Now, why is it not that much complex? Why is it not that much difficult? The reason is simply we are given this table in the question, and what we have been doing is we have simply been repeating the things again and again and again. But this is, we are not deliberately doing it, we are forced to do it because these are the financial reports. So whatever value we are looking out on the left hand side, we have to specify again and again in every paragraph, every fourth line, that this is the value corresponding to the 3 months ending 31st March 2017 as compared to this value pertaining to the 3 months ending on 31st March 2016, because of which we can say that this has been a net increase or decrease. Now in this table, best example, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things. So these 6 things are going to become our 6 paragraphs, and that is why we find it difficult or lengthy, but trust me, it is the easiest. Why so? Let us explain in our own language. As per the financial reports, the product sales for the first 3 months ending 31st March 2017 were $6,653,000, and the same value for the 3 months ending 31st March 2016 was 7325, showing that there has been a decrease in the value by $672,000. Next paragraph. Gross margin percentage on product sales was 57% for the 3 months ending 31st March 2016, but it has increased by 1% to a figure value of 58% for the 3 months ending 31st March 2017. Next paragraph. The value of other revenue earned by the company during the first 3 months ending 31st March 2016 was $517,000, which decreased to $329,000 for the 3 months ending 31st March 2017. Fourth paragraph, fifth paragraph, sixth paragraph. Simple. Where is the difficulty level? This is the most easy, or rather easiest, simplest thing you will find to write, in which you are writing so many sentences and so many lines and so many words, and importantly still you don't have to think much. This is the best part. You have so many lines to write, but all the information you are just simply taking from the table given in the question. You are just expanding it. That's it. This is what you are doing. Got it? So this is a typical financial report. Seemingly difficult, but actually not difficult. Seemingly lengthy, and actually it is lengthy. But that is the only difference. That's it. Fine. So I think it's better that before taking more such examples, it's better that you go through these first, have a basic idea as to how the newspaper reports are to be written, as to how magazine reports are written, and how you have related the financial report. And once having this idea, come back again in the next class, then we'll take up some more examples and the exercises meant for doing. Clear? So I hope that everything that we have done in today's class, you all must have understood it. A bit, I think, monotonous or a kind of boring word I shouldn't use, but yes, it is, because when you are repeating the facts as we have been doing in the financial report, it becomes a bit boring on our part or on the part of the reader. But since they are not meant for the general public, their readers are specific, and these are those people who actually want to get each and every detail, each and every figure, each and every clarity. So those people don't find these things boring, especially when they won't be reading the whole things. They know that in every paragraph the comparison is between the 3 months ending 31st March 2017 and the 3 months ending 31st March 2016, the previous year and the current year. They are only and only concerned about the values and the word increased or decreased as compared to the past year. How much increased, how much decreased, this is what they are looking for. Got it? So please go through these, and then you will find that they are not that much difficult as they seem in the first instance. And in the next class we'll continue up with the same topic, report writing, but we'll be taking few exercise questions. Clear to all? So time to end the class, students. Meet you in the next class very soon. Till then, read it up, study hard, and stay happy. Goodbye, everyone.